And welcome to WWDC 2019.
Wow, WWDC was insane yesterday. Apple released so much stuff. iPadOS is incredible. We're gonna be making a bunch of content this week, but of course, you know, in this channel we like to talk about the Apple Watch. I'm gonna talk about iOS and iPadOS further on into the week as well, so definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. But in this channel we like to talk about the Apple Watch a lot. So here's everything, all the new features and changes that I found in watchOS 6. There's quite a lot. In the end of the video, I'm actually gonna be telling you guys my opinion with watchOS 6. What did I think of it? Was I expecting more? All of that, and at the end of the video. But now, let's go ahead and talk about all the new features and changes which are really exciting in watchOS 6. So probably one of the biggest features in watchOS 6 is that we now get the App Store on the Apple Watch. That means that developers don't have to make an iPhone app if they only want to make an Apple Watch app. That's up to them. But now you can basically install a bunch of Apple Watch apps, the whole Watch App Store straight on the Apple Watch. You can install the app, you can scroll through the screenshots, you can basically go to the App Store on the Apple Watch. I love this new feature. There's a couple new apps in watchOS 6, starting off with audiobooks. You can now listen to audiobooks straight on your wrist with your cellular data. So let's say you want to go out for a run and you want to listen to your audiobooks without your iPhone, you'll be able to do that now with watchOS 6. Apple's also brought 3 apps that we use a bunch on the iPhone, and they brought us to the Apple Watch. And that is the Calculator app, the Voice Memos app, and the Reminders app. The Reminders app is beautifully designed. I always complain on Apple's Reminders app because the iPhone was just not beautifully designed, and the Apple Watch app sucked because you couldn't add reminders on your wrist. So Apple has finally fixed that with watchOS 6, and the Apple Watch app on Reminders is beautiful. Apple's also released 6 new watch faces on the Apple Watch, that being a new solar watch face, a new modular compact watch face, a new bicolor numeric watch face, a new monocolor numeric watch face, a new gradient watch face, and my personal favorite is the California watch face. It really reminds me of this Rolexy vibe. I really like the way that it actually looks on the Apple Watch with the full screen view and on the round view. I'm actually going to be making another in-depth video only on these watch faces, so if you guys are interested in that, subscribe, turn on notifications, and be on the lookout for that video, because we're going to be taking a look, an in-depth look on each and one of those watch faces, how to customize them, and how to take the full advantage on them. So with iOS 13, you can now send Animoji and Memoji stickers on your iPhone, but Apple has actually brought this to the Apple Watch. Now this is really cool because you can basically send Animojis on your wrist, which was never possible before, but now it's possible, and it's amazing. Apple's also released a cycle tracking app, which basically lets you track your period on your Apple Watch. The Apple Watch will basically let you know how many days are left for your period. One really annoying thing that Apple really has to do is the ability to delete apps that we don't want from Apple, so native apps. It's really annoying because I can't delete this cycle tracking app. It's not that I'm against with periods and stuff, I'm just not gonna use it. I'm not a female, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other males that just don't want a cycle tracking app on their Apple Watch. So Apple, if you're watching this, please let us delete the cycle tracking app for the male or for the female, if maybe some people don't really want to track their period. Please, Apple. I mean, I'm not against it, but it's just, the design of the app is actually really beautiful. Whoever was in charge to making this app, it's beautiful. But Apple's also released another app called Hearing, and Hearing basically lets you know when you're in a room that is too loud. For example, if you're in a concert or if you're at a club and there's too much loud noise, the Apple Watch will basically tell you. Probably you're not going to do this in a concert, but maybe in a club, if you're at a club and the music's too loud and the Apple Watch is like, it's too loud, you could probably step out for a couple minutes and give your ears a little bit of a break and then come back. Maybe you won't do this in a concert. I like this app. I really like this app. I was actually taking a sound class last year, and you know, I really learned about your sound and about your hearing, and you can really hurt your hearing if you're not careful with it. So I really like that the Apple Watch, this new Apple Watch app reminds me whenever it's too loud. There's also a bunch of new complications for your watch faces, including a new calendar complication, a cellular complication, a calculator complication, a cycle complication, a date complication, a rain complication. I love this new complication. I've been waiting on this forever. I wish the Apple Watch would actually notify you when it's about to rain, but I guess a complication that lets you know if it's going to rain today is useful as well. A new voice memos complication, a new audiobooks complication, and a new sound complication. The new sound complication is fantastic because whenever you look at your wrist, you'll be able to see the sound levels near you live. Like it's not like the last whenever you last opened the app. It's actually live, which is really, really cool. The music app has slightly been redesigned with a brand new For You section. The Now Playing has rounded icons, which looks great. So Apple now has released a new app called Now Playing, and whenever you open Now Playing, it will basically show you you're now playing on your music, or maybe you're listening to a podcast, which is really, really cool. I mean, as I said, there's actually a complication for it, so you can basically start off playing right on. I like this. This is probably one of my favorite features. It's such a small change, but it's definitely something that I've always wanted watchOS to have. The Activity app has also been slightly redesigned. We can now finally see all of our trophies that we've won on the Activity app straight on our wrist. We always previously had to go on our iPhone to see all of our previous medals that we've won, but we can finally see them on our wrist. When you force touch on the Activity app, the icon that says change goal, that icon has actually been slightly changed, and the force touch feedback has also been slightly modified. And talking about taptic feedback is everywhere in watchOS 6. Whenever you're pulling down to see a notification, or when you're pulling up to see the control center, you'll feel that taptic touch, which is a really nice touch, and things like that are everywhere. Apple's also modified the animation when we put our Apple Watch in our charging to put it in nightstand mode. We get this really, really cool swipey animation, which looks really nice. The walkie-talkie app has also been slightly redesigned with rounded edges, which fits way much better the feeling of watchOS. I don't really like the design. I mean, it was fine, but I like this one so much better. It just looks so much more clean. We get the profile photo on the left. It looks great. What looks great as well is the brand new settings on our Apple Watch. If you wanted to change something with the settings, you always had to go to the Apple Watch app on your iPhone and then change something and then go back to the Apple Watch. I'm sure now we're not really going to have to do that, because there are so much settings that you can now change straight on your wrist. Starting everything off, we now get the profile photo and our name on the top of the settings. We can now lower or raise the volume way much more. You can now update your device from the settings of your Apple Watch with no need of your iPhone. So it's more than clear that Apple's really trying to make the Apple Watch more of an independent device rather than using your iPhone to change all these settings, which is great news. All right, so concluding on the video, what are my thoughts on watchOS 6? I was kind of expecting more, if you ought to be honest. All the other features like iPadOS and iOS 13, they're great and big new updates to the software. But with watchOS 6, we just got a couple new apps that we should have had a long time ago, and a couple new watch faces, which I'm happy we got. But I was just expecting a little bit more. We had no updates to the workout app, which was kind of upsetting. The Activity app kind of had a redesign, but it's not really that big of a deal. So I would have wished, honestly, that we would have had activity competitions, but we would have had like group activity competitions, so I could compete with 3 of my friends or 4 instead of competing with 1. Like stuff like that, small things that would have made watchOS 6 a way much more better update. Now, watchOS 6 Beta 1, is it stable? Do I recommend you guys to install it? The battery sucks, literally. And look, by the time that I'm literally recording this, my Apple Watch actually unpaired from my iPhone magically. I don't know how. I was literally filming B-roll and then it just unpaired. So I don't recommend you guys to install Beta 1. So just wait for Beta 2, and I'm sure I'll make another video to update you guys if it's worth you guys to download. Right now, if you just want to test out the new features and you don't really care if your Apple Watch battery sucks, just download the beta. If not, wait. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for all the new features and changes that I found in watchOS 6 by it's literally 2 o'clock, and I've only been testing out watchOS 6 for a day, so I'm sure I'll find new features and new changes throughout the week. So if I find more features, I'll make sure to make another video to show you guys all the new features and changes. So definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, I'm gonna leave because you guys should install watchOS 6. Actually, don't install watchOS 6, that's buggy, so peace.
My feet go boom, 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 boom. My heart beats boom, boom.